They opened the tomb and never lived to tell the tale. Coincidence or ancient revenge? Was the curse of the pharaohs real, or just a clever myth to scare away grave robbers? Before we unlock the truth behind this chilling legend, make sure to hit like, subscribe and ring the bell for more ancient mysteries. Our story begins in the mystical land of ancient Egypt, where the rulers weren't just revered as pharaohs, they were considered divine. When they died, they didn't just leave the mortal plane, they were believed to take their divinity with them into the afterlife. This belief led to an obsession with preserving their bodies, mummifying them so that they would live on for eternity. Now fast forward to the 19th century, a time when the world was fascinated by all things ancient Egyptian. But it was Egyptologist Howard Carter who captured the public's imagination when he discovered an almost completely intact mummy in the Valley of the Kings in 1922. The mummy belonged to the boy pharaoh Tutankhamun, who ruled from 1332 to 1323 BC. The discovery of the tomb, filled with treasures and secrets, sent shockwaves around the globe. Headlines in the New York Times read, "Thousands of years old burial chamber of Egyptian pharaoh found intact." It was big news. But what happened next was even bigger news. Within days, Lord Carnarvon, the nobleman who bankrolled Carter's excavations, was dead. He suffered a fatal heart attack after being bitten by a mosquito. Or was it the wrath of the pharaohs? With the opening of the tomb, rumors started to swirl. At first it was just gossip, but soon it became a full-blown media sensation. The New York Times ran a story titled "Death in the Valley of the Kings," linking Carnarvon's death to the discovery of the tomb. And thus the legend of the curse of the pharaohs was born. But here's the twist. Archaeologists had been exploring Egyptian tombs for decades before this. Why did the curse narrative start with King Tut's tomb? There must be something special about that particular burial. Over the next few years, more than a dozen people connected to the discovery of the tomb kicked the bucket under mysterious circumstances. Some deaths were dramatic, others less so. Among the casualties was Lord Carnarvon's daughter, Lady Evelyn, who died of the Spanish flu while visiting her father's grave. Even though she didn't know he was sick, she insisted on seeing him, then succumbed to the disease herself. Then there was the pilot who crashed while flying over the Valley of the Kings. His plane went down just as he passed over the newly opened tomb of King Tut. Some saw this as nothing more than an unfortunate coincidence. But to many, it was proof that the curse was real. Newspapers across the globe jumped onto the story, fueling the public's fascination and fear. It seemed like everyone was talking about the curse of the pharaohs. So let's ask ourselves, were these deaths actually caused by the curse, or is there a more scientific explanation behind them? Did the ancient Egyptians really rise from their eternal slumber to exact revenge on those who disturbed their peace, or is the curse just a product of our fascination with the unknown? Let me know what you think. As we dig deeper into the legend, we need to take a step back and examine the evidence. What did the ancient Egyptians themselves have to say about disturbing their tombs? They left behind countless inscriptions on tomb walls and artifacts that offer clues to this enduring mystery. Many of these ancient texts serve as warnings to those who might consider disturbing the pharaoh's final resting place. Take, for example, the famous curse placed on the tomb of Tutankhamun, which reads, "Death will come on swift wings to those who disturb the king's rest." It's a clear message that warns potential intruders of the dire consequences that await them. But was this enough to convince grave robbers to stay away, or were the riches buried with the pharaohs simply too tempting to resist? Fast forward to the Victorian era, when the discovery of ancient Egyptian tombs became a hot-ticket item. Suddenly everyone wanted a piece of the action. But it wasn't just academics and explorers who were interested. Grave robbers, also known as tomb robbers, saw the potential for fortune and fame, and started digging their own holes into the past. But the question remains, how far were they willing to go to satisfy their greed? And how much weight should we give to the ancient curses they allegedly stumbled upon? Egyptologists have uncovered evidence that suggests the curse of the pharaohs may have been more fiction than fact. Many of the supposed victims of the curse died from natural causes or in accidents that could have happened anywhere, anytime. For instance, Lord Carnarvon, whose death kicked off the curse frenzy, suffered a mosquito bite that turned into a fatal infection. It's a grim end, but hardly evidence of a vengeful spirit. Instead, it might be a reminder of the harsh realities of life in the early 20th century. Likewise, the pilot who crashed while flying over the Valley of the Kings might have simply been the victim of bad luck or mechanical error. Of course, there were some deaths that were harder to explain, leaving some to wonder if there really is a curse lurking in the shadows of Egyptian history. But what if there's another way to look at these seemingly inexplicable deaths? What if instead of blaming ancient curses, we turn our attention to more tangible factors like environmental hazards? Researchers have discovered that ancient tombs can harbor dangerous levels of toxic black mold, which can wreak havoc on human health. Mold thrives in the dark, dank environments often found in underground tombs, and its spores can cause everything from respiratory problems to neurological disorders. Could this be the true culprit behind the so-called curse, a silent killer lurking in the shadows of the ancient world? When you delve into the mystery of the Pharaoh's curse, it's impossible not to stumble upon one of the most infamous cases associated with this chilling legend. That of the brilliant but troubled Egyptologist Howard Carter. Born in 1874, Carter dedicated his life to uncovering the secrets of ancient Egypt. But his dedication came at a price. While excavating the tomb of King Tutankhamun, Carter and his team discovered a series of traps designed to protect the pharaoh's final resting place. One of the most perplexing was a wooden box containing a venomous snake. According to legend, anyone who opened the box would suffer the wrath of the gods. Intrigued but cautious, Carter decided to leave the box undisturbed. Yet despite his best efforts to avoid tempting fate, tragedy struck when a member of Carter's team accidentally opened the box. As the venomous serpent slithered out, chaos ensued. Panic spread like wildfire as everyone scrambled to escape the deadly creature. But it was too late. The serpent had already bitten someone, and soon their condition took a turn for the worse. The victim, stricken with pain and fear, knew that they had been marked by the wrath of the pharaohs. But would they survive the encounter, or would they become another victim of the curse? There have also been reports of eerie occurrences in museums where mummies are displayed. Workers have claimed to see strange shadows or flickering lights near the mummies, while visitors have reported feeling a sudden chill or hearing disembodied voices. Some have even claimed to have seen the mummies moving, as if coming back to life for a moment. While these stories might seem like the stuff of nightmares, there could be a more rational explanation at play. Could the phenomena experienced by museum visitors and staff be nothing more than tricks of the light or the power of suggestion? Or is there something more sinister lurking in the shadows? One of the most compelling theories about the curse of the pharaohs is that it was nothing more than a clever hoax. Proponents of this theory argue that the whole story was fabricated to protect ancient Egyptian tombs from greedy grave robbers. By instilling fear and superstition, those who knew about the curse could ensure that the tombs remained undisturbed. This theory is supported by the fact that many of the supposed curse victims died under mysterious circumstances that could have been caused by natural factors. Moreover, the ancient Egyptians were known for their elaborate funerary practices, which often included curses and protective spells to ward off evil spirits. So it wouldn't be a stretch to believe that they would go to great lengths to safeguard their final resting places. In conclusion, the curse of the pharaohs continues to fascinate and terrify people around the world. Whether it's the wrath of vengeful spirits or the dangers of mold and bacteria, there's no shortage of theories and speculation. However, perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that the curse was nothing more than a clever hoax designed to protect ancient tombs from grave robbers. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the legend of the curse of the pharaohs will live on for centuries to come. Alright, it's time to hear from you. Do you believe in the curse of the pharaohs, or do you think it's just a myth? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more thrilling tales from history. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. Keep exploring and stay curious. Until next time, remember that the past is never truly dead. It's always there waiting to be discovered.